Yeah, this blueprint is the blueprint of our new Southport Municipal Complex, is what we're calling that. And it's going to house the mayor's office, it'll have the clerk treasurer's office, and of course the police department. One of the things that you'll notice is it has a training area on this side. We're one of 2 police departments in the state of Indiana who can give certified reserve training. So we added that portion onto that so that we could do all of our training in-house instead of using other facilities to be able to do that. Our current offices, we have about 100 square feet, what we call our roll call room or office space, and then it has a office for the chief, which is a closet. I'm not even sure how big that is. The new place is right at 8,100 square feet. So quite a bigger difference than what we're used to using. One of the reasons why we expanded was to, right now in the police department, with only having that one area, we have a lot of people inside the facility. Some of them are being detained or arrested. Some of them are coming in for fingerprints to get reports, and they're all confined into one area. So one of the nice things about this is we have our professional area that we can do all that, and then we also have an intake area over here on the east side of the building. And what that allows it to do is for officers from every agency to be able to come in and have a room to process prisoners, do interviews, breath test, any of that while they're either waiting on a wagon to transport or them transporting themselves once they get all their paperwork done. We're really excited. This has been about a year in the works. We've talked about it, went through different things. We looked at other businesses or other business space to utilize just for the police department. And by the time you were done, the cost was about the same. The other thing that we looked at was the safety feature. When you come in the front of the building, it'll have what we call a safe room. So if someone was running away from somebody, they can go in there after business hours, lock the door, and there's a 911 phone. It also allows, at this current facility, there's 3 entrances in, and it's hard to secure 3 entrances. So this will have one. They'll talk to a desk officer or police officer when they come in, and then they'll escort them to where they need to go. So the safety feature is one of the biggest selling points for us. As the police chief, you know, that's one of my jobs, is to make sure everybody that visits the city is secure. So that it's been set up for that. It has lockdown areas that if we were to get an active shooter inside the building, we could lock them down in different areas, and then that way respond. Like we talked about a minute ago, we have a whole training center. This is a wide open area. We could actually bring cars in. We can do training. We've got roll around walls where we can make different room entries and all that. And then we have a council room, which we'll also use as a classroom. If you notice over here, we have what we call a FATS machine or a FATS room, and that's a firearm simulator room. And it's like a PlayStation type thing. You'll have 3 walls that the video will play on. It allows the officer to go in there and train on different scenarios using a simulator gun. The system that we're looking at currently, the gun acts just like a real gun. So it makes it to the closest environment we can get to actually being there. So that's a nice feature, and it allows us to cut down where we're not at the range as much shooting. We can bring them in, we can do training right here in-house. So it makes it a lot easier. It also, we want to do is bring the community in. With a lot of the police action shootings going on now, we want to bring them in, put them in those scenarios and let them see what the officer sees and the reaction time that you need to be able to make those decisions. So that's a really cool function of the whole training area there. Yeah, right now the building's at $1,003,000. That was our commitment to the city. And right now it's not raising any tax money. So it's something that the mayor and the committee put together was really focused on. We didn't want to burden the taxpayers. We knew we needed a bigger facility that was safer, but how do we do that without raising taxes? So like I said, it's been about a year. We went through 5 or 6 other places where we were going to rent space or buy space. The good thing about the land that we're building this on, the city already owns, so we didn't have to purchase that. The more professional looking part of it, as you come in, now as like you said, when you got here, there's 3 doors. You're not sure which door to go in. Right here, You know, our focus was to make it a secure, professional place for people to visit and feel, you know, feel safe and feel like they're part of the community. So the whole building's been set up that way. With having 45 officers, 48 officers, it allows us to be able to give them the space they need to get their job done also. Where right now, you've seen the space, I couldn't get 10 people in there, let alone 45 or you know, guys. So, yeah, I mean, we're just really excited about it. We haven't, I mean, that's been the police department for as long as I can remember. So it's a big step for the city, and it's something we're proud of. And the community, the support we've gotten from them, they're proud of it too, which makes it nice. It's that partnership with the city and the community working together. So that was where the police department's always been held, right there, is the section that you saw at the beginning. So this will be the first new building we've ever built to house the police. And like I said, this project started out with just being a police department, and it wasn't that big. With the safety concerns that we were looking at and how we could better secure our council members, our board members, and our mayor and elected officials like clerk treasurer, the talks changed into why not just move everybody to one secure location and, you know, one place for every resident to go or patron that wants to come in, they know where they need to go. We don't have two separate buildings. This right here is going to be the outside of the building, how it looks. Kind of give you an orientation off of the blueprint. This is the training area. That'll be an open space all the way to the roof where we can drive police cars in. The front doors, this part that comes out is the airlock part where people can go in, lock themselves in if they're in trouble, use the 911 phone. And then on the other side, this would be the intake area we were talking about. There is a second floor on this side, but that's storage, and it runs that length. If you notice, all the windows are up higher. They're about 7 foot to 8 foot high. We did that for security reasons. With some of the city halls and police departments that have been shot up by people driving by, we wanted to make sure we moved those windows up higher so that no one inside the building would get hit by any rounds that were shot at the building. So yeah, that's the front side of it. And like I said, it's about 8,100 square feet. We have a desk service division, and what they do is they field all the phone calls, anybody that comes in that needs a report done, fingerprints, incident reports, salvage titles, anything like that they would deal with. And if you remember the blueprint on the new building, when they come in the safe room, so these will be the officers they talk to first, and then find out what they need, and then we can get them to either what they need or the office they need to go to. So that's kind of how that's set up. And as you can tell, you got your desk services, you got the chief's administrative assistant over here, you got a breath test machine in the corner. People come in and do fingerprints, get reports, and everybody is in this room at one time. So it makes it a little difficult to be able to, one, hear the phone when the phone rings, talk to somebody about doing a report, and then maybe have a suspected DUI person over here taking a breath test. So as you can imagine, it gets loud in here and really congested. No, I mean, we're just really excited about it. I mean, you can see the progress they've already made. I think they've been at it just at a month. So they're moving along really good. This is going to be the front side of it that we talked about on the blueprint with the safe room. Your training room is to the far side here, and then that'll be the intake room and all that on the left side of the building. So no, we're just excited. We're ready to get moved in. The grassy part through here, we're going to have we'll have the flagpole put out here, and what we're looking at doing is building 4 foot tall walls, and they'll have memorial bricks where people can buy a brick and put their loved one or their name or business name on it. They're going to be about 4 foot high, maybe 5 foot long in sections. That way, if people want to come out and sit and kind of relax, you can do that out there. We'll have some flowers around the flagpole and all that. We've talked to a couple people about doing some type of memorial for Lieutenant Allen. So we're still in the early stages of designing that. And of course, we'll want to get Stacy Allen's ideas on what she'd like to see out here. So that's kind of the idea we have out here in the grass part.